Hello, guys. Welcome to the stream. A little bit of a technical issue going on here. That's why I wasn't looking. I've got a second screen like I used to have in the UK. I'm just waiting to see what happens there. A little bit of a delay. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. We've got over 100 people in the stream already. And yeah, we're okay on the technical side. Let me just show you this little monitor here. It's actually quite a nifty bit of kit. I don't know if you can see it. Is the cable long enough? No, I don't think the cable's long enough. Let me pull it out. No, I've wrapped the cable up too tight. What it is basically, it's a little monitor from China, no brand name. It cost me about £50. And what it is, it sits on the side. And the whole idea of it is, you know, when guys say, oh, the picture's really bad. And sometimes you get trolls coming and they want to mess about with you and they say, oh, we can't see you and all that sort of thing. And if I can't see what you're seeing, then, you know, I get a bit worried. But now I've got this tiny little monitor. I can actually see what you guys are saying. That was really interesting, was it not? Okay. Right. I'm just going to say hi to... Well, let's say hi to everybody. I was going to say hi to somebody specifically, but I'll start from the top as I always do. Who we got on? We got super nice. Hey, Pete and fellow mongers, how you doing? By the way, as I said last week, the Monger Minute's finished now. It's done its had its day, and I think we're going to bury it, finish it. It was good while it lasted, but I don't want to outplay its welcome, if you know what I mean. Now I'm getting all tangled up here. Bear with me, guys. First night with this. Right, okay, I'll leave it. Fix it tomorrow. Right, super nice. What does that say? I can't make out what that says. It's yeah, okay. Right, let me just put these up. I'm all flabbergasted. I haven't got my act together yet. Hang on, there's the currencies. Pound's doing okay at the moment. It's nearly 43. If you're coming out here to Thailand, you're getting a few more baht for your money now. Right, good to see Martin Ryder in again. We missed you last week, Martin. You caught it at the end, didn't you? Or you missed it and you watched the rerun. Crypto Chris, how you doing? Jim, how are you, mate? I was in the restaurant tonight. I was in your very, very seat. I think you know because you answered my text anyway. But I've got to keep out of there because it's a little bit salty, the food, isn't it? And I'm sure it's a lot of carbohydrates, but I love it, and I will be doing the video. You know the kind of slash Indian Arabic restaurant I'm always harping on about. I did a short with a name. It's called the Al Hussein at the back of Soy 3. But I'm actually going to go down there and do a video in the next couple of weeks. And I've also done the video. You know, there's a lot of guys writing and say, why don't you tell us about your experience, you know, the hotel industry, how you came to be with your wife and you split up and how you ended up in Thailand. I've actually made that video now. I've recorded it. I've edited it. I'll probably put that up. I'll probably put it out for the members on Monday, Tuesday, and then I'll put it out for everybody else a few days later in the week. All right. It's about 50 minutes long. Crypto Chris, have I said hi to you? I have. Robert 2000. Wow, big jugs. Hope you're not referring to me there, Roberto. Ryan Sager. Hello, everyone. Pete. It's nearly sunny in England. I'll tell you what, talking of nearly sunny, it is really, really hot here. I had to go over to Bangor today, which is where Simon lives, because I left my scooter over there. You know, I went down to, I can't stop playing with this. You know, I went down to Pattaya and I had 3 days down there. And yeah, it was good. I had a really good time, but I rented a car because it was so hot. I was going to go down on the motorbike, and then I thought, well, I don't want to mess about with a bus. I'll rent a car just to see if I can still drive here, which I could. I won't touch it anymore, promise. So I rented it. Look, I'll sit like this. I rented a car. Well, I took it from near where Simon lives, and I went down to Pattaya, and of course I had to leave the bike over there. So I had to bring the bike over. So I went on the BTS train today, and it's murder because it's like you have to change at Siam Square. The station's packed, lots of people, hundreds of people, and very, very hot. And of course, Monday is Labor Day. It's a holiday here, so everybody was out and about in their cars. I come over Taksim Bridge, you know, the river, the big bridge there, Taksim Bridge. I come over there, and normally I can go flying over there doing about 70 miles an hour, and it was just bumper to bumper to bumper. So, you know, I did the Thai thing. I went in between the cars, but it's quite dangerous because if somebody was to open their car door, but it's very unlikely that happens because they know about motorcycles here. But yeah, real hot if you're coming here. I've noticed also there's less tourists here now. When I was here in December, there was a lot more tourists here. It was actually full. And I told you last week, my daughters are coming out in November. I've booked their tickets, I paid about £1,400. Nick, I'll say hi to Nick. I don't know if he's watching now. Nick is a guy who lives in London, who I met at the Elim Festival when I did that video. And he came out for his first time. He spent a week in Cambodia. He went down to Pattaya for a week. And he left, and I said, how do you get on? And he says, I wasted my time going to Cambodia. He said, I should have gone straight to Pattaya. He left I think it was day before yesterday, and he was all miserable. You know, he texted me, he said, I'm at the airport, I'm going back, I'm really fed up, you know, because he'd had a ball in Patty, you know what he got up to down there. And so he's back in the UK now. The minute he landed, well, not the minute he landed, but the same day, he booked his flight to come back out here, not bothering with Cambodia. He's booked for, he's coming out in 60 days. So hi, Nick, if you're watching this. And I'm glad you've been bitten by the Thailand bug like we all have. Javier, good evening, Peter. Hope you're well, mate. How was your short visit to Pattaya? Yeah, well, as I say, Javier, it's always a good trip to Pattaya. Yeah, I had a good time. Stayed in the Flipper Lodge on Soy 7, not to be confused with the Flipper. Sorry, I stayed at the Flipper House on Soy 7, not to be confused with the Flipper House on Soy 8. I've stayed in both, but I like the Flipper Lodge because it's always very, very clean. You know, the rooms. Last time I went there a few weeks ago, I got the deluxe room. It's just a bigger room, and I thought, no, I won't waste money. I'll buy the standard room this time. And yeah, it's always clean. It's very, very clean, and that's important to me. It's got a safe in the room, and it's a great location. It's just down from Nick Dean's bar there. I drove down there, but I left the car parked up for 3 days. I rented a motorcycle from my favourite lady on Soy Bacau, and yeah, had a blast, had a ball of a time on the motorbike. But one thing I have noticed, which I mentioned before, was that a lot of the food courts and places you go in the evening to eat Thai food and pad Thai and all that sort of thing, there used to be Thai and English signs. The menu was in Thai and English, and now they're all in Thai and Russian, and the English has been scrapped. So they're obviously catering to a market down there. Luke Powell, hope it all went well. Yeah, no name, RP Monga Minute. Okay, it was good, but it lasted. The thing is, when you do something like Steve said, he's another viewer. When you do something that's quite fun and quite good, if you overdo it, then it becomes tired, doesn't it? Now I've got a little bit of news to tell you. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here a little bit, because I might announce this and then it might not happen, but I think it is going to happen. I'd say 80%. Now I've been looking for a girl. Don't look at me like that. I've been looking for a girl to join the channel. Okay, I don't want to have anything to do with it on a personal level. I just want a pretty girl who speaks a good level of English, who I can bring into the channel on a long-term basis to do live streams outside, because she'll know more locations than me where we can go where it's quiet and stuff. And I want her to front video. So instead of me walking around a mall, this pretty girl will be with a talking into the camera, and I'll be holding the camera. I think I've got somebody. I spoke to her on the phone today. She does these car shows at CB Media. He goes to a lot of them. You've always got these pretty girls at car shows, haven't you? She's one of these girls, and she does a bit of emceeing and stuff. So her English is good. She's very outgoing. And I just think she'd be a great input to the channel, because I feel like it's getting a little bit stale now. I'm still kind of doing what I was doing in England 3 years ago, ladyboy competitions, live streams from the room, and it has slowed down a bit. The subs have slowed down a bit. I've still got supporters, obviously, but I just think I now need to mix it up and start doing something more. And if I can get this girl into the if I can get this girl to join me, she's quite pretty. She's not young, but she's still quite pretty. Good English, very flamboyant, very outspoken, and I'll look after her financially. And if I'm going to give her incentives, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, she'll be rewarded. So let's see. I'll keep you posted on that one. I had a chat with her for about 20 minutes today. I'm going to meet her on Friday because we're both very, very busy. I'm filming with Bangkok Pat tomorrow. We've got something special that we're doing as a joint venture. 2 videos. He's doing his video, I'm doing my video, but we're both in both videos. So I'm going to get a lot of stick from his viewers again. Every time I do a video with Pat, all his followers slate him for doing a video with me. How can you do a video with that monger Peter? He's a disgusting guy. So last time I had to turn the comments off, but we don't care. Pat doesn't care. So we're going to do a joint venture tomorrow. I'm going out to meet him at 12 tomorrow. We're going to do some filming, and we might carry that through to the Monday. And then I'm going to put the video out where I explain everything that went on with the marriage and everything, and how I ended up here. And there's also advice what you should bring to Thailand, what you shouldn't bring to Thailand, toiletries, medication, all that sort of thing. It's one of my longer videos. It's nearly an hour. What else? That's about it for now. That's about all I need to tell you at the moment. yeah, Hidden Hammock CB Media. I think he's got a good channel, actually, CB Media. He's a bit of a petrol head, isn't he? But he's got the personality. I don't know if you've seen the long boat where he had to go with the jugs. They were going along on this long boat. The old jugs were going like this. And yeah, good channel. He's not false at all. Some of these bigger channels, they just come across as false, don't they? But they're doing well. Right. Where did we get up to? Let's have a look. D&E Sand. Hi, D. Good to have you in. Good evening, Peter, and all in the stream. Real Rennie. Good morning, gentlemen. Greetings from a pleasant Copacabana. Well, pleasant. That's good. Fat Tony. Afternoon, Pete and Monga crew. Yeah, good to see you. Good evening from Saudi Arabia. That's from Mac McMillan Nurse One. Okay, good to have you in. Middle East. Never went to Saudi Arabia, but I spent about 3 years in the UAE. That's Bahrain, Dubai, Abu Dhabi in the 80s, long time ago. It's all probably changed now. There's a handsome man there. Jeremy, how are you doing? Good evening, Pete. I hope you're feeling great and no more funny turns. Looking forward to today's live stream, but have the F1 on too. Yeah, good to have you in, Jeremy. I'm always Saturday afternoon, isn't it, in England? So I'm always competing with either cricket, football, racing, you name it. Whatever's good on TV is when I'm on. Let's see if I can coax you away when I get this girl in. George Van, how you doing? You changed your name, have you? You've made it a bit more easier for me. Thanks if it is you, George. Thanks for your advice on security and everything. But it's pretty good here. I'm not really that paranoid about it. I don't think I upset people too much. I do upset some people, but I try not to. Ken Christopherson, how you doing? Let's see who else we've got there. It's great having this second monitor. So like a kid with a new toy. Okay, let's have a look. No name. Hey, Peter. Yeah, I said hi to you. I'm a smooth operator. How are you doing? Simon Goodson, watching from a hotel on Nana Soy 4. You're watching from a hotel. So you're on Nana 4, just down the road, and you're in a hotel and you're watching my live stream. I'm guessing you're kicking back and you're going to hit Nana Plaza a little bit later on and see what's happening around there, mooching around there. I don't do late nights in Nana Plaza anymore. I've just grown out of it. And, hang on, somebody's sticking out the chair. Get injured down there. Yeah, I don't do late nights anymore. But I hope you're going to go out. You're not going to spend the night in the hotel, are you? Randy, how you doing? You're getting very, very excited because you're coming out to Thailand soon. And yeah, you'll have a good time. We'll meet up when you get here. If you're in Bangkok, you give me a shout and we'll meet up. And again, guys, if you come out here, I've got no problem with meeting anybody for a beer or a lunch or something like that. But some people just get a bit funny. I had a guy, I do this consultancy thing. Like some guys are coming out here for the first time and they just want to sit and speak to me for an hour for a very small fee. I'll go online and it's just me and the other person and they can ask me what they want. And I had this guy booked a 2-hour slot with me, which is quite good for me because it's nearly 4,000 baht for the 2 hours. Normally people book half an hour, something like that. And I thought, well, that's a good one. Anyway, so I sent him all the procedure, what he needs to do. He doesn't need to download any software. I said to him, I'll just send you a link. You click the link and it brings you into a private encrypted stream. And I've done hundreds of them with people, hundreds, right? I've never had a problem. I pay for the software, so it's very, very safe. It's from a company who protects it. It's not a Mickey Mouse company. And he writes back to me, he says, oh no, I'm an IT specialist. I prefer Zoom. Can we do Zoom? And he sent me a link. And I wrote back and I said, look, don't worry. This software is very, very safe. I've done it for hundreds of people and you don't need to worry about it. And not only that, Zoom kicks you out after 40 minutes if you're using a free version. And I don't pay for Zoom. I don't need to pay for Zoom because I use this. So I said, and the other thing is Zoom kicks you out for 40 minutes. So we'd arranged yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was 5 p.m. my time, 11 p.m. his time. So I'm guessing he's in the UK, right? So I'm sitting there. I send him the links. I've got the headphone on. I'm all ready. I'm sitting here like this, waiting. All he's got to do is click the link and come in, okay? And normally, people who pay to do that, they come in on time, 30 seconds late, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there. After 7 minutes, I send him a message by email. I said, I'm waiting for you. Where are you? Anyway, he doesn't come in, does he? So what he's doing, I'm guessing, he's sitting on Zoom on the other end, waiting for me to click it, crapping myself that I'll lose money if I didn't. You know what I did? I just deleted the stream, sent him his money back, and that's the end of it. I ain't got time for people who waste time like that, I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Right, Rumble, how you doing? Hi, Peter, and all in the chat. Citizen Mickey, hi. Andrew's Real World. Andrew, how are you? Good afternoon, Peter. Lovely bird in the thumbnail. Hope it's a green stream as always. Yeah, the thing is, these girly pictures, people ask me where I get them from, but I'm not telling you because they're nice. Right, trip on. Oh, Andy, I hope you did tell me about your eyes, so hopefully that'll hopefully that'll get better. Trips on Two Wheels, good morning. Hello from Texas. Okay, I'm guessing you're a biker with a name like Trips on Two Wheels. Clong Andy, love the theme tune. Would have it at my funeral, but hard to explain to my wife. Yeah, absolutely. I've been running that theme now and the outgoing theme for about 6 months. I had a couple of sexy ladies, one on the opening and one on the end, and I particularly like the one on the end, the blonde girl with the, she'd done a Western hairstyle, the curls, and she's leaning over with a white kind of dress, and it was a very nice picture. And I was just getting problems with images, because you can't, I don't steal images, but sometimes I'll buy a file of images off someone and they're licensable, and I get the license, and even though I've got the license, YouTube still give me crap about it, because I don't know, maybe there's some fake licenses out there. So I'm just, what it is, if I've got a dodgy image and they turn around to me and say, we're getting rid of this video because of the image, that's fine. I'll lose a video. But can you imagine if they said that video, the one at the end where the girl's leaning, if they said that was copyrighted, even though I haven't stole it? That's it. I'm finished, because every single live stream will have that picture. So I decided to take the pictures off. The stories I do when I do the intro, there's always a pretty girl in a kind of old orangey gold traditional dress, and she's holding a garland of flowers. And I've been using her for a long time. I'm so paranoid about it. I went in and licensed it. I paid $24 for that one picture, just because it's in every single story. I've got 500 videos on the channel now, right? And she's in every single story video at the beginning and at the end. And if they come to me and said, you haven't paid the license, that's it, I'm screwed. So, I'm just being really, really careful with music and stuff. I've gone off the subject there, actually. What I was going to say to you was the music, I like it, but it's been going for about 6 months, and I was thinking about changing it. But it's the old thing, isn't it? If it's not broken, why fix it? So when people start to say it's getting a bit boring, then I might change it again. Sean, how are you doing? Hey, Peter, hope all is well. Yeah, I'm in Bangkok. Everything's good. Everything's good. Mind you, saying that the rainy season is upon us very, very shortly. We had a couple of days in patio where it just hammered it down. Not for long, about an hour, 5 o'clock in the room. All of a sudden, the skies just open up, thunder, lightning, really heavy rain. And same thing here in Bangkok. It hasn't been every day, but there was one day about 3 days ago, it just hammered it down. We're getting to the end of April now. Traditionally, the rainy season is about kind of May to November. So we're going to start seeing some heavy. I hope we don't see the floods that we've seen last year. You walk out in the soils and it's up to your knees, basically. I'll say hi to Franco. I don't actually know if he's in. I haven't seen him. I don't think Damien's in at the moment, because he does his shopping on afternoon. Let me just say thank you to Jungle Georgia. Nice super sticker there. I get a few beers with that, Jungle. Just thanks very much. I'll think of you when I drink that. And you've got a lovely looking lady there. It's a very small picture, but she does look cute. Thanks for the super chat there. Okay. Right. Hidden Hammock. I like the name. Awesome. I've been here for a live. Okay, good. Terry Delve. Hello, Peter. Hope you're doing well. I am, Terry. Flipper Lodge, Martin. Why? We've got the Flipper Lodge and the Flipper House. I prefer the Flipper House. David. Afternoon, Peter. And everyone from Peace Heaven near Brighton on the East Coast. Well, Andrew Hammond's not too far away from you. Is he? No, he's in Poole. That's quite a way, isn't it? It's on the South Coast, though. No name. Bangwa, is there a correctional facility there? No idea. It's the last. I do know it's the last stop on the BTS. So, okay, Peking Man. Evening, Peter. I'm a Brit living in Beijing, 13 years now. This weekend is the start of the Labor Day holiday here. Have you noticed an increase in Chinese tourists since the beginning of the year? Absolutely. Now, the thing is, once they open, I mean, if you've been to China, you know why they don't want to be there. I mean, it's, I worked in China in a place called Dalian, and I worked in Beijing a couple of times during my time in the hotels. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really enjoy it that much, like other countries. But yeah, I have, since I've opened up. I'll tell you what I've noticed. I've noticed a hell of a lot of Chinese here. There is a lot. And also there's a lot of Russians here at the moment. You know that already. But, everywhere I go, I see Chinese now. And I know they're Chinese. I've got the experience just by looking at them, because their skin is very light colored. It's almost like a yellowy color. the Korean girls as well. The Koreans, they're very, very white as well. So you'd never mistake them with the Thais. But getting back to your question there, I know because when I'm out and about wandering about, I can hear them talking to each other. You know, I go to Terminal 21 sometimes. I go out and walk along Sukhumvit. Just sometimes it's interesting just to look at them stalls, isn't it? And yeah, there's a lot. In answer to your question, that I've noticed a lot, but not just because of Labor Day, just in general, basically. Reggae vibes, right? I just paid $1,848 for my ticket for January. See, where's that from? That'll be from Heathrow Reggae Vibes because you're in the UK, aren't you? I'm sure you are. I just paid 184 US. Oh, US. So no, you're. Oh no. So I'm getting you confused with the other driver because you're sitting in a truck. There's another guy here. So that's about. I guess that's about. I don't know if that's a good price, if it's a bad price. I know prices are coming down. Nick, a viewer called Nick, he told me today that he's been quoted on Eva Air Direct, £750 return. That's more like it. You know, it's never going to be 550 like it was pre-COVID. That's what I was paying economy. But he was saying 750, which is pretty good. And my daughters are coming out here in November. I've just booked their ticket, and the best price is that Frank. Is that Franco? Franco is in. Let me just say hi to Franco there. Because I'm never sure. David Halsberg, he's the other driver. I can see you on that screen, Franco, but not on this one. Never mind. Good to have you in, Franco, keeping an eye on everyone anyway. Yeah, so I've paid for a ticket for my two daughters, and the best price I could get when I was looking was £1,900. That wasn't even direct. And my elder daughter, she says, "Dad, we can do better than that." And they were talking about 20-hour, you know, well, not 20 hours, long stopovers, you know. And I said, no, you know, you're not traveled like that before. You shouldn't do it. I said, what, you know, look for something with about 2 to 3 hours. You can handle that. Anyway, they got 2 flights return. They have to stop off in Abu Dhabi for 2.5 hours. It's doable, right? They're young. And I paid, I think it was 1,380 for the 2 tickets return, which I'm happy with. That's paid for now. That's done and dusted. And they're going to be staying in a hotel. I've booked them a nice twin room in a half decent hotel, very close to where I'm living. And yeah. So how much are you paying from, has anybody booked a ticket recently? How much are you paying for your tickets? Paul Harrison. In January, I stayed at the Sunbeam Hotel, not far from Flipper Lodges. There's lots of decent hotels in Soy 7 and Soy 8, isn't there, around there? Yeah. No name, Nat. Okay, I don't know what you're referring to there, no name. Luke Powell, view numbers will go right up. Okay, so you're talking about how far behind am I? Oh, I'm very far behind with the comments. Let me start from the latest and go back up. Sorry if I've missed yours. Right. I think you're talking about if the girl comes on board. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in a position now where, you know, it's so easy with YouTube. It's so easy to just think you'll always get subscribers and it'll always be popular and you'll never go out of fashion. But actually, you've got to keep your eye on the ball. And you know, I'm not an idiot. I realize, you know, there's guys out there who are doing videos every day. There's personalities out there. You've got people like CB Media who are out filming car shows all day. You've got you know, some other big YouTubers out there, and I'm kind of plodding along doing my own thing. I know I've got my own audience because of my age and stuff, but I do want to bring more into it now. And the problem is that I'm so tied up doing the stories and, you know, my own stuff, and it's really difficult to get out there. But I've got to make the time and get out there. And this girl, if I can get her if I can get her on the live stream sitting next to me, and you guys can ask her whatever you want to ask her. And I already asked her today. I said, have you got any hang-ups about guys coming on and asking you, you know, a little bit kind of risque questions? She said, I'm used to it. I did the car shows. And I said, you know, well, I said, you know, if as long as you're open about it, guys will, you know, they'll want to talk to you. So yeah, let's see. I'm looking forward to it. I pretty much think she's coming on board. And if she does, she won't be sitting in my room. I mean, obviously I'm in my apartment. If she comes on board, every week we'll go somewhere. We'll try and find an air-conditioned mall or a bar or something, and I'll get some radio mics, and maybe she'll go on a little wander on the live stream, and I'll film her, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it, actually. I'll be gutted if I can't get her. Right, John, you said, let's have a look here. Matt being there recently, 95% Asians, but if you're willing to pay, they'll pay. Okay, Matthew. Oh yeah, here I found Matthew's comment. I know what you're talking about now. Matthew says, "Hi Peter, do you know if Therme is just reserved for Asians or are Western guys also welcome?" Okay, let me tell you about Therme. Okay, just in case you're wondering, Therme Cafe. It's in the bottom of a hotel around Soy 13, 15, somewhere up there on Sukhumvit. Okay, it's been there forever and a day. I used to go there in the early 90s. Okay, so it's been there a long time, and it's basically a cattle market. That's what it is. You go downstairs in the basement. It's a huge room. As soon as you walk in, they insist you buy a drink from the bar. There's a little bit of piped music, and it's just rammed, absolutely rammed with girls of all sorts, freelancers. Okay, so in the old days when I first used to go down there, it was mainly Western Caucasian guys down there with the occasional Asian or the occasional person of color, whatever, and it was that sort of place where you'd walk in there and the girls were all over you. They just were. It's kind of turned now, and what's happened is it's true. They prefer the Koreans and the Japanese. If you go down there, you can go in there, but you'll find you're not as popular as they are. A lot of girls will look away when you look at them now. So, the old days you walk around, you look, and they'd all look at you and smile. Nowadays you walk around and look, and half of them will look away, or they'll pretend they're getting something out of their bag because they're just not interested. Because a lot of you guys, like it, which is normal, you do a transaction and you ask how much, and the Koreans and Japanese, they don't do that. They just go say hello, start talking, take them out. They don't even discuss money. That's why I've been told by the Thai girls, they call them the 3-4s, right? No insult to any Koreans or Japanese watching, but this is what the girl told me. They call those guys the 3-4s. 4 minutes, 4 inches, and 4,000 baht. Well, I mean, you can't say fairer than that for them, can you? Paul Hoskins. It's so hot you dive into the nearest shop and cool down. Do you know what? You say that, Paul. Where did I go today? I was walking down Sukhumvit and I was sweating like a rapist. I mean, it was hot, right? And I had to go into which shop did I go into? It was a pharmacy. And what did I go into the pharmacy for? My memory is getting really bad now. I went into a pharmacy for what did I go in for? Do you know what? It was only about 5 o'clock. I went into a pharmacy and I bought something. Oh, it was a can of Diet Coke, right? That's why I can't remember, because it doesn't click with a fantasy. I was walking by and I was sweating. I've come back on the bike, gone for some. I was on the way to the food, and I was drenched, and my throat felt like an Arab's leather sandal, when it's just dry. And I was walking by and there was a pharmacy, but they had a drinks machine in the corner. I went in there, got myself a Diet Coke for 16 bar, and yeah, it was lovely and cold. Right, what else? I'm looking at about 800 or so for a ticket in June. You'll have to tell me if they're direct flights or you're getting off in the Middle East. John Rainsford. Hi, Peter. I pay 982, getting there in December the 13th, 6 weeks. Well, that's the reason you'll be paying a little bit more, is because you're coming in high season. December's high season. I would imagine now tickets for this time of the year are starting to go down big time now, as long as there are no holidays. Because don't forget, when there's Thai holidays, a lot of the Thais who live and work in Europe, they come back to Thailand to celebrate with their families. I'm not going to speak about it. I'm just adjusting it. Okay, that is a good picture on there, though. Cool. Let me just. I know I said I wouldn't play with it, but let me just adjust it a little bit. That's it. And to all you who have just joined, I've got a new monitor so I can see what you're seeing. Right, naughty boy. I'd be having her in my room if I could already, and I haven't seen her. I can't give too much away. I don't want to do that, okay? Because I want her to be a really good presenter on this channel, okay? I want to be on the camera, and I want her to go out, and I want her to do what I tell her to do, right? As soon as you start messing about with them and a bit of a relationship takes place and you're bedding them, it's all out the window. They're not going to listen to you, right? Because it's not like I'm her boss and she's my employee. It's just I want it to be like professional. When we meet, we talk about what we're going to film. She takes a microphone. She goes out. I films her. It's done. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week for the live stream. We're on the live stream. We talk to you guys. We talk about whatever, but I don't want to step over that line. There's a million girls in there's a million girls in. How many girls are in Thailand? The population is like 80 million. So let's assume 40 million of them are female, and let's assume 25% of them are of dating age. How many is that? You're talking 40. I don't know why I'm going into numbers, but you've got millions of women in this country. So why would I want to mess around? But we'll see. Paul Hoskins, 4 inches is when it's not excited. All right, too much information there, Paul. Okay, I'll put that one up. Citizen Mickey, Irish Dave is doing well. Irish Dave, is that the guy who wears the Buddha, whose channel disappeared for a while? there was also somebody made a video about him, didn't they? And it's quite a derogatory video. If it's the same guy I'm thinking of, and then he disappeared, and then he came back with this channel where he just interviews nice looking women in the street, and yeah, his numbers went up. So I'm guessing that's who you're talking about. Dave the Rave. Hi Peter, how much roughly is a business class or first class ticket to London or Bangkok? We were asking the wrong person for first class, because I just would never be able to afford first class. Business class, it's been silly prices at the moment. I mean, Damien used to fly business class, and he told me pre-COVID he'd pay anywhere between £1,800 to 2.2, maybe 2.6. He's coming out again in 30 times. Damien's the other moderator, but he's not here at the moment. He's coming out in about a month's time, and he told me, he said this time he's chosen to come out premium economy, because the difference between economy and premium economy was £600, whereas the difference between premium economy and business class was, I think he said £1,600. So it's really silly prices at the moment. I paid, but you can't benchmark this because this is a different thing. But when I came out here, I treated myself. When I sold my house, I thought, right, let's go for it. I'm treating myself to business class, and I really enjoyed it, actually. I came out on business class, and I think I paid £2,180 on Thai Airways direct, but that was one way, okay? Because I was, as John Denver sang in 1968, I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back. I think, no, I don't know when I'll be back either. Right, Randy, PA Comanche. Right, I've been saving credit card points, 3 stops from the USA, Denver, Tokyo, Bangkok. Really good if you can find a seat. Only 88 points, $880. Yeah, that's good. It's a long flight though, Randy. I've actually flown to California a couple of times when I was living in Bangkok. This was about 1997. That movie Casino came out with Robert De Niro. Me and a friend were into that sort of stuff, movies, Goodfellas, The Shawshank Redemption, Casino, anything with a good grippy story. I don't like fantasy and fiction and all that sort of stuff. So that movie came out, and my friend and I we said we'd never been to Vegas. We said, well, let's go and let's have a look, and we'll go and have a look at Binion's and the old part of Vegas, and it was pretty good. Now I'm rambling on, and I forgot the point of it. Yeah, your flight. So when we went over, I remember we had to go from Bangkok to Tokyo, and then I think that was about 7 hours. And then we went from Tokyo to California, and I think that was about 13 hours. And we did it economy, and never again, Randy. So if you're coming over on economy from the States, I feel for you, I really do. Well, I mean, look, Paul Hoskins, you're saying, which seat do you prefer on a plane? Well, if money wasn't the issue, obviously first class. Nobody's going to say, well, you've got the choice of first class, business, or economy. Nobody's going to say, I'll take the economy. No, I mean, if it's, I don't think now I could fly economy again. I've been flying for 35, 38 years economy. I had that business class flight, and I think, I don't, what, it spoiled me. I don't think I could go back to economy. I could probably do premium economy. The other thing about the business class flight, it's not just about the seat, it's all the extras you get. You can, economy, you get 23 kilos luggage. Business, you get 40 kilos. Okay. You can use the lounge at the airport, and like I said to you before, I thought it was just going to be like picky food, right? But full on breakfast, everything, and even had beers in the fridge. Not that I was going to have a beer for breakfast, I'm just saying. But I think it was worth the money. I'd do it again. I don't think I could go back to economy. I mean, some people left comments that said, oh, waste of money, I'd rather spend it in Thailand. But then where does it stop? If you stay in a decent hotel in Pattaya that's costing you 1,200 baht a night, why not say, well, I'll stay in a hostel for 400 baht a night and share a room with a bunch of kids, because I'll save even more money. You've got to have when you get to my sort of age, you've got to have a kind of line that you say, that's it, I'm not downsizing any more than that. David Pipe, how you doing, mate? I'm thinking of possibly coming for a month, July 19th to August 19th. It'll be hot, David, very, very hot. Best price at the moment is $1,400 on Delta and China Airlines via Taiwan. Yeah, I'm not a great fan of China Airways, not because I'm being racist against Chinese. I used to fly them in the 80s. It's probably completely different now, but I remember luggage being stacked up against the fire exit on a domestic flight, and I don't think I'd do it again. But $1,400 doesn't sound bad for a return. Scott, yes, I flew from the middle of the US, Iowa, to Detroit, to Ishan, that's in Busan, to Bangkok. It was a 30-hour trip. Yeah, dreadful. the notorious DRE. And I do remember you from last week. We were talking about um, Biggie Smalls and his song based on the song Juicy. Yeah, I remember all that. How you doing? I only do business class or higher when flying overseas. That makes sense. I mean, look, I said I couldn't go back to economy. Look, if I was in England and I was doing, if I was a business guy and I was flying into Europe, once or twice a week, I was going to Amsterdam one week, France the next, and I was flying. It doesn't make sense to get business class. I don't even know if they do business class for them short haul flights, but when you're on a 6 hour plus flight, 5 hour plus flight, 12 hours. It's great. I mean, I had that big seat. I was able to, a lot of the time I couldn't sleep because it was a daytime flight. At night I knock out, and I would have been, it's like a bed, right? But it was just nice. I still put the bed back and I was laying there and it was like, when you're really tired and you come home and you don't want to sleep, but you stretch out on the bed and you're just relaxing and it's nice and your feet are up and your head's back and you're not going to sleep, but it's nice. And that's what I did on the aircraft. I was laid back. And it was actually, it's kind of unbelievable in a way because I don't take anything for granted technology wise, and I'm sort of laying there and I'm thinking, just think, I'm 33,000 feet up in the sky in this tube, and here I am relaxed after a 5-course meal. It blows me away. I never, like I say, never take technology for granted. Last time I played with it, I promise. That's it. Just adjust it a little bit. If you wonder what I'm playing with, I've got one of these monitors from China. Paid £50 for it, and it's just so I can see what you guys are seeing. Because sometimes I get idiots coming to the stream and they're like, "Oh, we can't see it. The picture's gone all wonky." And if I don't have that, I don't know that it might be true. It might not. But if somebody does it now, I can just look at that and say, "Well, no, it's not," because I can see what you're looking at. Right. Right, we're going back, aren't we? We started the other way around. Right, Frederick Nyborg, is it? Our train from Surat still going to Hulapong in Bangkok. What they've done now, because they were going to close it, and they've got the new railway station. I forget the name of it. And then what they've done, they've decided to keep it open, but they're only doing certain routes on it. So if you plan to go from the old station there, I'm not very good at pronouncing these names, forgive me, but if you plan to take a train from the old station, just check the route. Don't assume that, oh, well, I did it last year, so it'll go this year, because they've had a mess around with some of the routes and the new trains. So Bangkok Patton know a lot more about me than this. I can ask him tomorrow, but I'll forget by next week. But yeah, they're not going to get rid of the old station now. They're going to keep it. Martin Ryder says, I take a small day sack for luggage, toothbrush, thong, KY jelly, and a catering size box of rib for her pleasure. Yeah, I don't think that's quite right, Martin. If you do, good show on you. Rob says, I just paid 1,450 for October Anna. Anna's the Japanese airline, isn't it? Where's that from? Is that from America? When you put the price you pay down, tell me where you've gone from, because I don't know. You haven't put the pound sign or the dollar sign, and I don't know if you're from the UK or America or even Australia. So I can't really benchmark it. I'll put that up again. I'll just call. Look, I'll tell you what. I can't keep saying the notorious DRE. I'll just call you DRE. Okay. I agree, Peter. Flying business or first class is truly a great experience. I'm a specialist in the points and miles game, so that helps a lot. That's where I went wrong. I never collected points. I've got a very cavalier attitude about it. I just buy the ticket, I do the flight, and that's it. I'm not one of those guys who counts points and collects points, and I should have done, because I did a lot of flying. Probably could have had some free flights. Jungle George, I like Philippine Airlines. They have 2 classes, economy or business class. Business class has your own cubicle, and the stewardess even brings you slippers. Well, that's what they did on Thai Airways. I kind of had a cubicle. First class have actually got it's sort of like a room. It actually it actually closes off from the rest of the plane. You've got a big leather armchair and a working desk, and you've got a bed. It's, they're clever. They walk you through first class, and they walk you through business class, don't they? When you're getting off the plane, they could get you off the other door right straight out, but they make sure you walk past business class and first class so you can see what you've missed. That's what you could have had. You're walking out with your neck like this, and your back's aching, and you slept the wrong way. And as you're walking through those business, you look at those cubicles and you think, well, lucky. And it's like, it should be like, this is what you could have had, but you wanted to be tight, and you now look at you. But yeah, no, I get you. That's an interesting one, Paul. Do they do helicopter rides in Thailand? They do absolutely everything here. I can't say yes because I don't know, but I would, if I was a betting man, I'd say yes, 99%. There's not much you can't get in Thailand. Right, Thai Billy Boy. Greetings, Peter and everyone. I'm late today, just finished work. Okay. Ben Leonel, right, let's put that up. Thirsty after that Indian food tonight. Okay. Air China is Chinese and China Airlines is Taiwanese. Eva Air are Taiwanese, aren't they? I've flown Air China to Thailand from London, and both times were very good and very cheap. Fair enough. You probably know better than me because I haven't I flew them really in the late 80s. Phil McCracken. On China Air, the pilot serves the drinks. Oh, really? I seen one airline. I was watching. I go through videos. I don't watch like lots of videos for the full length, but I was going through one, and there was a Karen on an American aircraft, and they were getting her off. She was shouting, you know, I want the police, and you can't do that, and you know what a Karen is, don't you? And but when the guy who was filming it, I seen a guy carrying a tray of food, and he had a proper chef's uniform on, you know, with a hat and everything, and he was on the aircraft, and I thought, is that how they serve it, or has he just come on board to put some food in? Really weird. Right, Naughty Boy says, right. So how many bottles of champagne did you drink on the business class? Well, you know, I've got a rule of not drinking in the daytime. I won't go over old ground. You know what it is, right? And I just thought to myself, look, you know, it's a one-off. It's a one-off lifetime experience for now. I might do it again. I don't know. But, you know, you can't really hold your rules back when it's a business class flight. They're offering me champagne, proper champagne. It wasn't sparkling crap. It was proper champagne. And I thought, bugger it, I'm going to have it. I didn't even feel like to drink it, but I thought it's champagne. I'm going to have it because it's included. I ended up having 3 full glasses. And I'll tell you what, it was very refreshing. It was very nice. I didn't get any hangover. I didn't get any neck ache. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Good choice, I think. All right. Where are we? Right, yours. Let me just read something out yours sent me. Steve, his name is actually. That's not a real video, Peter. It's actors. What's that about, Steve? That's something we talked about, would it? That's not a real video, that's actors. Tell me more, tell me more. Let me just read this out. This is, Steve sent me this. This is quite interesting. This is an article. Right, it was written by a lady called Wendy Jones, and it was for a newspaper, a Chinese newspaper called the, should I dare I try to pronounce it? The Shim Sha Shim. It's spelled TSIM space SHA and then space THUI. But you're not really bothered what the newspaper's called. She's called Wendy Jones. So she's interviewed a 25-year-old British woman. Okay, now this British woman is quite a good-looking woman in her own country. She's got guys, they're twisting their neck. She walks down the street, they twist their neck, and she goes into a pub, and they're all eyes on her. You know, she's like, you know, it's like chucking a. Now, what's going on here? Froze. Bugger. Right, I'm back. I'm back. Hang on, let me just check that I am back. That's very rare. If you're out there, if you're there, yeah, I'm back. That's very rare that happens because I've got such a good internet connection now. It's the first time in sort of about 8 weeks that I've lost the connection, and it's put me off my train of thought. Right, so this 25-year-old, see, I've got the screen, and I knew I was off because of the screen. I wouldn't have known that last week. Gone again. Right, I don't know what's going on there. I really don't know what's going on. That's really pissed me off actually, because you know when you got a fast connection like this, it shouldn't freeze. Hang on in there, guys. If it does freeze again, just hang on in there. Right, I'll try and carry on. Okay, no. Right, I'm just wondering if it's not the internet connection. I'm wondering if it's because I've got this second stream, and I'm wondering if it's taking too much resources up from the laptop. It shouldn't be, but I seem to be there now. Let me just get rid of that. And I'll try and carry on because we were okay for the first half hour, weren't we? Well, 45 minutes in now. So let me have yet another go on this news article. Right. Okay. My eye's on the ball over there. And it's frozen again. Right. I don't know what's going on there. I'm going to I think I'm going to run a check or something. That's really pissed me off now. Let's just stay with it for a while, see if it freezes. I don't want to be halfway through this article. And right, Matthew, what you say? TGE video froze, but some countries so TGE video froze, but some sound continues. So keep talking. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, good tip there. 20 Rothmans, you heard me swearing then, didn't you? Because if you could hear me talking, I said, oh, F. Right. 20 Rothmans, sorry, London, agree, but the screaming babies and business class doesn't guarantee peace and quiet. I had that on. I told you I won't go over it again, but I had an aisle seat, and on the other side of the aisle there was a woman with a baby, and it was like, oh my God, it was driving me crazy. I keep watching this now. I'm paranoid, but so far so good. Right. Okay. Let me go back to this article because it is interesting what Steve sent me. So this is this is a 25-year-old British woman, and she's got a job in Hong Kong in an office. And basically, again, all right. Well, I'll keep talking because you said you can hear the sound. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on. It's quite annoying, isn't it? Right. Let me just read this article out, and if it goes again, it goes again. Okay. And this is the lady speaking, the 25-year-old British woman. Okay. She says, I am a 25-year-old British woman who came to work in Hong Kong about 6 months ago. I secured a job in an office with about 20 Western good-looking young males from the United States, Canada, Britain, and Australia, and look forward to a full social life in Hong Kong. After 6 months, not even one man has asked me to go out for a date, nor taken any notice of me at all. All of them have Filipino, Thai, or Chinese girlfriends. When I look at these naturally beautiful Asian women who don't even have to wear makeup or do any exercise to achieve their good looks and perfect bodies, it makes me feel so depressed and inadequate. I'm afraid the time has come for me to face facts and go back to Britain, where the majority of men have never been exposed to the Asian experience and are still content to have a relationship with a pale-skinned plain Jane like myself. I shall never complain about being sexually harassed again. Right. Okay. Guys, what I'm going to have to try and do, I'm going to come out of the stream and I'm going to come back into it again, right? So just hang on in there. I'm not disappearing. I'm just going to come out for a minute. It might refresh it, and then I won't lose you. I'm just going to come out and then come. Okay, I hope that solved it. If it hasn't, the only thing I can think of, I mean, we didn't have these problems for the last few weeks. Well, the only thing I can think of is because it's a Labor Day holiday on Monday, everybody's on the PC. I don't know, but let's see. It's going okay at the moment. It just throws me off, you know. I hope you caught that news article there, and many thanks to Steve for sharing it. Fat Tony, no. Paul Hoskin, where's he gone? Rumble, just very still, Peter. That's what Rumble says, just sit very still, Peter. That way we won't notice anything if it freezes. Okay. Kevin Sutherland, thank you very much. I don't deserve it, really, do I, after all them internet freeze? I'm starting to sweat now. Look. That's a very, very generous super chat. Thank you. I'll think of you. I'll buy dinner with that and I'll think of you. Thank you, Kevin. Right. So far, it just froze over and over again, didn't it? So far, it's fine, Peter. Okay. Thank you, Ben. Google user, looks like the British lady in Hong Kong was humbled. Well, this is what happens. You know, how many times have you walked around Thailand, you've seen a couple of British girls or American girls, and they're sitting at a bar, and they're just looking like pissed off because nobody's chatting them up. And it's not because everybody hates them. It's just they're in Thailand. And do you remember the American lady I interviewed about a year ago? What happened with her, just very briefly, they were a young couple. They were married. They came over from America because a young husband, the company had offices in Thailand, and just unlucky for her, he got posted to an office in Pattaya. To cut a long story short, he ended up like leaving her and taking a 20-year-old go-go dancer back to the States. I forgot what I was going to, what the bloody story I was going to tell. See, this is what happens when this swings me off. I'm talking about something and I give you an example, and then I forget what I was going to tell you. I'll just have to carry on from where I were. If this settles down again, I'll get my mojo back. Oh, we were talking. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I've got it. I've got it. It's come back to me now. We were talking about like the guy who said it looks like British ladies are humbled, and I said, how often have you seen Western women looking, dishevelled because they're not getting chatted up? So this particular woman, I brought her on to the channel and I interviewed her, and the whole point of the interview was to basically say, look, this happened to you. You ran off with a go-go dancer. How did you feel? How did you? Obviously, she felt like shit, but it was like, how did you? Where did you go from there? So you left in Pattaya on your own. Your husband's run off with a 20-year-old go-go dancer. You know, what did you do? But where that relates to this comment here is because what she told me is after a while she made friends with some guys who were in Pattaya who'd come on vacation on holiday for a few weeks, and they all got very close and they invited her out to eat, and she was one of the guys, as it were. But the one, oh my god, again it's gone. All right, I'll keep talking. But the one thing she did say was that none of them tried it on with her. They weren't interested. They told us straight out. So they just said, look, we're in Thailand. We've come here for Thai girls, and she just had to accept it. They just weren't interested. Right. Right. Paul Hoskins says, have you seen anything funny in the bars? Like what, Paul? Seen lots of funny things over the years. You'd have to be more specific. I've seen everything that goes on in these bars. Naughty Boy 555. It's because of global warming. Well, they'll use every other reason for it. Yeah. Reg Viewer, how's the weight loss going, Peter? Okay, that's a good question, Reg Viewer. So the last time I did my weight loss thing, I went on a really silly crash diet and I actually lost about 23 to 25 kilos. That was before I went back in 2 Decembers ago. And what happened, I just put it all straight back on again because I went home, I was getting a bit depressed with my family, what was going on and everything. So what I've done this time, I haven't gone on a diet, I'm doing a lifestyle change. So most days, if I'm not doing anything, which if I'm in the apartment working on the computer, or I'm not out somewhere, then most days that I do that, I go up around midday because I really love the heat, up there. I'm trying to get a bit of a tan, and I swim. We've got a 45-meter length infinity pool up there, and I do about 8 lengths. I know it's not much, but it's a starter, and I try and do it regular. I've cut out eating at night. I eat a lot of salads. I've tried to cut down my carbohydrates, but it's impossible to actually cut them all out because it's just so boring trying to find food with no carbohydrates in it. But yeah, I eat a lot of fruit now. So when I go to 7-Eleven, I've got a 7-Eleven just up the road here, and it's brilliant. You'd be surprised what you could live off 7-Eleven, right? I mean, I buy apples and bananas and oranges. They do different salads. They do Caesar salads in boxes for 55 baht. You can get these tuna roll things. So yeah, I'm very aware now of. I've stopped completely taking salt. Some people have said, well, you need salt in your diet, so that's not very wise. But the thing is, with salt, there's a lot of salt in a lot of the food we eat anyway. That's that you eat. So the thing is, you don't want to put extra salt on there. And I've also I've cut out regular coffee. I'm just having Nescafe because the doctors put me on blood pressure to bring down the blood pressure just slightly high. Right, and let me say thank you to. That's the second one from you, Jungle Jim. Thank you, Jungle George, rather. Jungle Jim. That was a movie, wasn't it? Jungle George, super sticker there. That'll get me a decent drink. Thank you very much, George. And I always say I appreciate it because I don't know what else to say, but I really, really do. I know you work hard for your money, and giving it to me I'm grateful. Right, Fat Tony. Most foods has salt anyhow. Absolutely. Naughty Boy. 7-Eleven have the best toasties. Yeah, you want to be careful with them though because they have sugar in them. If you come here for the first time and have one of those toasties, you can taste the sugar in them. They are tasty, they are good. I eat them, they're convenient, but they do have sugar in them, like most things in Thailand. You've got to be careful what you eat here because a lot of stuff in Thailand, even when they cook street food out on the street, you order pad thai and you'll see a pot of sugar with the ingredients. You've got the chilies and the spices and they always put a hefty spoonful of sugar in and cook it up. So be careful, if you shouldn't be having sugar. Right, guys, if I've missed your comment, apologies. Just put it in again because I'm yakking away here, and I'm trying to get everybody in, and sometimes I have to skip to the later ones or the comments get so old. Andrew Hammond once said to me, I don't ask questions anymore because by the time you answer them, half an hour's gone by and it's not relevant anymore, and we're not talking about that subject. So I did take that on board. Okay. Do you know what? I'm really glad I'm talking about it again. But if I hadn't have had this monitor, I wouldn't have known. I'm watching what you watch, and when I see it freeze, I know instantly it's great. I'm a really good investment. Good investment. Okay, it's settled down, hasn't it? Fingers and toes crossed. Um, Right. Do you know, I talk about this. Rob Hebb, Peter, did you try the French baguette yet at Paragon? Great bakery. I haven't, Rob, but what I'll talk about this, I will talk about this now. Years ago, you couldn't get good bread in Thailand, but now you can get it. I go on my scooter up to Big C on Rama 4. I did a little short clip from there. You can get you can now buy anything. I don't know if you've seen it. But it's great. They've got a bakery in Big C and they do like cobs, if you come here and you like bread, they do croissants and they do custard pies. And I know that sounds disgusting, like spinach and mushroom quiche. And they do lots of different breads. And they're just like you get in Europe or America. You get dark breads, you get seeded breads. You get the one I buy is the, what do they call it? Sourdough. I like the sourdough loaves. And it comes as a thing like this, 105 baht. So it's a little bit expensive compared to your own country. It's about £2.50, but I buy two of them, give it to the lady, I ask her to slice them up. I come home, I put one in the freezer, and I just smash into the first one, because my habit, carbohydrates bad, bread's bad, but one of my weaknesses is fresh bread. And when you got a Big C, I used to go to Villa to get it, but actually the bread now in Villa, I don't think it's as good as you get in Big C, because when they have it in Villa, they wrap it in cling film, and by the time you get it home, it just doesn't feel off, but it doesn't feel like fresh, really fresh. Whereas the one you get in Big C, it's not in cling film. They have like sections with plastic things you lift up and you put it onto a tray and then they put it into a bag, and fantastic. I mean, if you haven't been to a Big C, the bakery, really, really good. Right, Andrew again. Ed Sweeney has given up alcohol totally, no booze at all for 5 weeks now. He is feeling much fitter and healthier. Well, it's strange. I gave up for 14 months. I didn't feel any difference. I didn't notice any more money. And I just did it because at the time my wife said, "You're an alcoholic." And I said, "I'm not." And she said, you can't stop." And I said, "I'll stop for a year then." And I stopped for 14 months. And then one Sunday, I got up and I said, "I'm going out to buy 4 cans from Co-op." And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Because I don't want to be a priest. I'm not giving up forever. I just gave up because you said I couldn't. And now I've done it for 14 months. I want to have a few beers." Damien, how you doing? Good to have you in. I did mention that you wouldn't be until later. Evening, Mr. Peter. Sorry, missed a lot of the stream. Just got home busy at the yard today. Customers needed payment due to bank holidays. Same story. Same, but different, as the Thai says. But good to have you in, Damien. We'll be gone for at least another half an hour. Martin Ryder. Peter, someone in the chat is getting very aggressive with me. I've sent you the screen print from Skyscanner to prove the fare was correct. No, that's fine. You don't have to prove anything to me, Martin. I believe you. But who is? I haven't noticed it. Franco, Damon. If you see any, have a look at that for me. Will you, Mark? I'll just put that comment up there again. Damon, that's why Damon and Franco are there. You see, they go through all the comments, and if they see something that's very aggressive or it's unnecessary, then they'll just time the guy out for 5 minutes. They can't block him completely, but we'll keep an eye on it, Martin. I haven't seen it myself yet. Ben, greetings from Japan. I'm a Brit, have been living in Japan since the World Cup in 2002. I'm thinking to make an early retirement move to Thailand, so perhaps I'll book some consultation with you. Ben, of course, I'm going to say, yeah, call me up, book me. Send me an email. Okay, let me put my email address up here because I've got a whole explanation of how we do it, what software I use and prices, everything. So look, just look, you can rewind this later. That's off my website. Okay, so I'll just keep that. I won't keep that up there for long. But if you go there, that will tell you all the information about prices. You can do anything from 30 minutes up to 2 hours. It explains, how to have questions ready, what I'll talk about, what I won't talk about. But there it is there. And if you just want to write to me, send it in. There's my email address there. Okay. Okay, there's quite a delay on this, like what you're watching, because I've put that up and I've taken it down. It's still not up on there. Really weird to watch it. Yeah, so back to your comment. Where were we? Yeah, Thailand. I always thought, Ben, I always thought Japan was really expensive, but Simon and his family went over there for Songkran, and they always go away. Last year they went to Korea because they've got a big family. There's his wife, his 3 kids, her brother lives next door, and the mother, and they all go as a big group, almost a coach load actually. And they went to Korea last year, and this year they went to Japan. And I said to Simon when he got back, I said, it must have been expensive. And he says, no, it was very reasonable. He said, I don't know about rents. He says, but, he says it was about the same as Thailand. But then I read out a story. I don't know if I read it out. I read it out today. One of the stories today, a guy said he went to Japan on vacation. He said the only Japanese people he spoke to were the store clerks in 7-Elevens. I got the feeling like people weren't over friendly to him. I don't know. I've never been to Japan. And he said then he came to Thailand for a week, and he said he couldn't believe it. It was like black and white because people here were smiling at him. Kids were trying to hold his hand. And he said it was just a totally different environment. I don't know. That's what he said. That was what we read out in the story today. Martin Ryder says, I've blocked them. Okay. Right. Okay. As an inspire you, me, Peter, did you get drunk quicker after abstaining from alcohol for 14 months, or was your tolerance the same? Exactly the same. I mean, I drank for years, right? I was in the hotel industry, and it was just part of the culture of drinking. You'll see on the video that I'm going to upload this week, I went through a kind of dark place with my family. I'm not looking for sympathy, but I broke up with my family. I've sold my house. I've come out here, and I'm very, very happy now. I've still got contact with my kids, and I tell you all this in the video. The video goes on about, if you want to come out here, what you should think about bringing out here, what you shouldn't bring out here. I go on to talk about medicines, toiletries, condos, visas. I talk about the whole lot, but part of that video I talk about what I went through psychologically with my family coming out here. And as far as drinking goes, in those days I was drinking a hell of a lot. I was drinking close to half a bottle of whiskey a day and 4 large cans of beer every single day. Before that I wasn't drinking quite as much. But in answer to your question, no, people kept saying, because I'd been drinking for years in the hotel business, and people said to me, if you give up alcohol, you'll feel like a new man. You'll be up at the crack of dawn, you won't have that hangover. You'll feel great. You'll save so much. And you know what? Nothing happened. I stopped drinking. The first week I couldn't sleep because obviously alcohol is a natural what's the word? You knock out when you've had a few drinks, you hit the pillow, you're out. And they say you don't have a good sleep. I always had a great sleep when I had alcohol. But no, in answer to your question, no, I wouldn't. I never noticed any difference whatsoever. I don't think I overdrink now. I enjoy a drink. Why not? Right. Franco says, Martin Ryder, who would this be? Okay, so I'll leave that there. I don't know that you could block anybody, Martin, though. Okay, let's have a look. Right, naughty boy. Paul, Big C does a lot of imported products. They do. They're very, very good now. They're very, very good. We won't be promoting Big C all night because I'm not getting paid from or anything. It's just general knowledge if you're coming out here. Look, I'll tell you, when I first came out here, I used to go to Villa because I remember Villa from the old days. You can get all your, Villa do a lot more than Big C do, but you can get a good shop in Big C and save a lot of money. I don't want to slate Villa. They're very, very good, but they're a little bit more expensive than everybody else. But the good thing about Villa is you can get things from there that you can't get in Big C, that you can't get in other places. But that list of what you get from there that you couldn't get from other places is shrinking because the other supermarkets, they're all expanding their products, as it were, and you can get a lot of foreign goods. Right, who's this trying to? Okay, right, Martin Ryder, let's have a look. Okay, I'll read them later, Martin. I believe you. You don't have to prove it to me, but I'll read them later. Right, Capio, how you doing, Capio? You're always coming very late in the stream. Afternoon, Peter, looking fresh. Am I looking fat? Is that a haircut? She scalped me. Oh, that's a good one. I had when I told the stories, was it this morning or last week's stories? I can't remember, but I basically, when I read the stories, I don't just come on and say, hello, here's a story and read it. I like to have a little bit of introduction, a little bit of chit chat, and then I'll read a story out. Then I'll talk about that story a little bit, give a little bit of an opinion, and then go on to the next story. That finishes. I'll do a little bit of chit chat again. And at the beginning of this week, I think it was this week's story. At the beginning, I said, "Oh look, I went for a haircut, and she's butchered me, and I joked about it. I said a bit more. I won't say everything I said there. And I got a comment from a guy today, a guy called Martin Watson. Right, he wrote to me and he said, I'm not paying a £9.99 membership because you're talking about your hair. I'm off. And I thought, I don't have a £9.99 membership, right? It's like £4.99. So I just said to him, I think you're on the wrong channel, mate. I said, I don't have a 9.99. And I said, don't forget to close the door on the way out. I mean, you're not gonna watch my channel anymore because I mentioned my haircut. I mean, talk about Mr. Sensitive. Right. Okay, Franco saying hi to you, Capio. Uh, Do you know, I always get notifications from you, not from you, but from YouTube saying Capio's released this live stream. And then I look at it, it was like 6 hours ago or 8 hours ago. I suppose it's a time difference, isn't it? Right. Reggae vibes. Peter, what happened to Brian Flowers? He's never on YouTube anymore. Do you know what? I really don't know. I might phone him tomorrow actually because I got a message from. I'm not going to say what it is because it's confidential. But I hadn't heard from Brian for at least 2 months. I went to one of it. He likes to come. Brian likes to come up to Bangkok because he can think in the car on the way up, and they have these business get-togethers. It's just a bunch of guys. They're business meetings. So if you've got a business, you meet once a week. And I went to one of them, and I met a couple of guys who run a radio station down there in Pattaya. I think it's called Spot. I can't remember what it is now. Um, but I haven't spoke now. What you're saying there, Jason, I can't really read that on the live stream. I'll have a look afterwards. Um, yeah, I mean, I used to speak to Brian quite regularly. I went to some of his business meetings, and we're friends. I've got nothing against Brian. Some people really have a go at him because he's got the bars and stuff, and they start calling him names like pimp and stuff like that. Water over a duck's back, right? And I haven't heard from him for ages. And today I got a message from Brian asking me to do something. I can't tell you what it is because I say it's personal, but I did it anyway. And that was the first thing I'd ever heard. But you're saying he's not on YouTube anymore, so obviously something must be going on, because what happens with Brian, he gets a lot of people, well, not a lot, he gets a few people, they try and make trouble for him, because he's successful. Brian's successful. He came here with virtually nothing. He has a lot to do with those bars in Soy 6. He's got his fight club gym down there, and he's made a success of himself. And people are jealous of that. People want to come here, sit on the beach all day, and expect money to fall out of the palm trees, right? That's what they expect. But that doesn't happen. Like everywhere else in the real world, you have to work, and when you work, the money follows, or you run a business. And Brian has done a lot of work and he's getting rewarded now. But people get jealous and they try to stick the boot in. And sometimes he just has to protect himself and, step back from the spotlight for a while and let things calm down. Because some of these guys can make big trouble, even though you haven't done anything wrong. Okay, I'm going to go down to some of the newer comments again. Ricky, is there still a Monga Minute in the members live stream? No, it's buried. It's dead now, Ricky. I did 30 Monga Minutes. They were good, but they've run their course now, and I don't want to outstay their welcome sort of thing. I might leave it 6 months and run them again, but for the moment, that's it. The other reason is that I was struggling. I was really struggling to find the clips, and I just about found everything there was to find. Did you get back to me, Steve, on that last cryptic message? I don't know if you did. Is that Blaine? Franco, yes, I was just fact checking Martin's airfares. Martin is Martin's been in here for about 3 years. Right, Jason Reed. Good day, Peter. Will there be good day, Peter? Will be there for the first time on Tuesday the 6th. Can't wait, and hopefully we'll have a few stories for you by the end of the trip. Brilliant. Look, if you send a story, and I often get guys, they'll contact me and they'll say, look, I'm not very good at writing, but here's my line number, call me up and I'll tell you over the phone. Well, I can't do that. I mean, can you imagine, right? Some guys in Australia, I'll phone him up online. He's like, well, I met this girl called Knock, and then we went for a meal, and then this happened and that. And I'm there with a pen or trying to type it while I've got that. It doesn't work. If you've got a story, send it in to me. I'll read it out. But I can't dictate stories. It just doesn't work. Geezers. Hello, Peter. I made it at long last. You're looking fresh, and I don't know what I missed so far. Oh, well, that's it, Jason. You're finished now, mate. We've discussed everything. We're just on the way out now. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next. No, not normal sort of stuff we talk about. Kelly, can you get a roster of Thai car models to work and rotate as they have time to do? Thanks. I don't really want to do that because that's a headache, because you're dealing with a new person each time, and every time you deal with that you're talking about this lady I'm hopefully bringing onto the channel. If you come in late, like Jason has, I found a girl that used to do the car shows. When you watch these sexy girls, and okay, she speaks great English. She's got a good personality. She's very outgoing, very lively. She'd be perfect for my channel. Okay, I interviewed her on the phone today. I'm meeting her on Friday. Apologies if you heard this already. I'm answering Kelly's question here. Okay, I'm meeting her on Friday. I think 99% I'm going to employ her or work with her, have her on the channel. And what I don't want to do, I could have said to her, well, I'll give you 2,000 baht for every video you do, or 1,000 baht for every live stream you sit with me. I don't want to do that. I want her to be part of the channel as much as me, and I want to incentivize her. Is that the right word? Incentive. I can't get the word out. You know me. I'm thick. I want to offer her targets, like when we get this many subscribers, when we get more for every 1,000, that sort of thing. And I want to work with one person who we can develop a relationship. I'm not talking about a boyfriend girlfriend relationships, because that ain't going to happen. Okay, it's going to stay professional, but you get to know each other, what you're good at, what you're not so good at, and eventually you can make some good videos together. In theory, having a different Thai model every week is great, but trying to organize it and dealing with all their egos and personalities and chasing them up and they don't turn up, it'd be a bloody nightmare, wouldn't it? At least if I've got one girl who I can rely on, and I know if I say to her, right, we're going to be at that mall at 9 p.m. on Wednesday afternoon to do an ad hoc stream, she's going to be there, isn't she? Because she's tied into the channel. I don't want to say too much, but yeah, I'll be able to let you know for sure within, I'd say by next Saturday, I'll be able to let you know for sure. And if she is on board, I would say we'll be doing a live stream together out there somewhere within the next 2 weeks. Okay, a lot of people talking to each other again. Paul, this is one time I think I'm going to agree with you on that. There, you said you don't think YouTube would allow my stories. You'd be surprised though. Some guys send in stories that are XXX blue rated, and I clean them up. I use an AI now. It's very, very good. In the old days till a few weeks ago, I used to have to read the stories and say, no, I can't have that, can't have that, replace the words or replace the sentences, or I'd actually sometimes you get a story in from a guy in Belgium or Germany or somewhere, and it's not their fault. English isn't their mother tongue, and they've written it, but it just doesn't read right. And what I've had to do is rewrite the whole thing. Well, I use an AI now. So I basically put the story into an AI, and I just say, correct this. I don't change it. I just say, correct the spelling and grammar, and it just churns it out, and that's the job done. It's great. Do I have got a ladyboy competition here. I wasn't going to do it because I'm trying to phase all this sort of stuff out. But as the channel's gone in another way, I think we will. The problem is I can't remember which is the right answer. I'm just trying to see. It's not. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take a chance on this. Let me just write that down. I'll do a quick ladyboy competition for you. Right. I wasn't going to do this, but we'll do it. Sorry. There's 8 pictures, 7 are ladyboys, one's a real lady. Let me just see if I can see that. Yeah, it's a different color. Yeah, I think I've got it. Okay, so tell me, guys, which number is a real lady? Okay, I hope I've got the right one here, because in my mind I know which one is a real lady. If I cock this up, I'll apologise now, but I think I've got it. Okay, so Paul Harrison, no. Martin Ryder, yes, you got it right, Martin. I hope. Lewis C, no. Rio Reno, yes. Joyous Roma, no. Fat Tony, yes. Kelly, no. Damon, no. Rumble, yes. George, no. Javier, yes. Toy Billy Boy, no. Jim, I'll just say Jim, no. Jason, yeah, you got it. Randy, you got it. Well done, mate. First time you got it right. Gabor, Yeah, you got it. Toby Price got it. Jack, but how can we get all these right answers? The Gormless Twit, no. Paul Harrison, yes. Slavic, I can't pronounce the last one. Slavic, no. Steve Gibson, no. Stephen Hayes, yes. Jim, yes. Michael DiCaprio, no. Andrew, well done, you got it right. Manuel, no. Stephen Hillard, no. Franco, no. Big M, no. Terry Dales, no. Kevin Sutherland, no. Blue Trekker, yes. Red Pill Denmark, yes. David Hauserberg, yes. Google user, yes. Paul Hoskins, yes. Paul, you got it right. Well done. Naughty Boy, yes. Yoss Travels, no. Dianissan, no. Charles Saunders, yes. Ben Leno, no. 20 Rothmans, no. Old Fogey, no. Paddy Crab, no. Mara, no. Jeremy, yes. You got it. Well done, Jeremy. Are we there? I can't pronounce that. I'll put that up there actually, because look, just so you know, I'm talking about you. I can't pronounce that, but the answer is no. Christopher Tate, no. Bedrock, yes. Neil Driscoll, yes. Brian Mills, yes. Reggae Vibes, yes. That's it. Okay, and I hope it is the one I was thinking of. Here we go. Yeah, I was right. It was actually number 4. Do you know what? I think what it is, because I'm on a laptop here, it's quite a powerful laptop, but I think the reason I've been having problems today with the screen freeze, and I don't think it's been the internet, because I noticed when I was playing the music to the competition there, it was cutting out. And I think what it is, although my laptop's a good one, it's not a top of the range one, it's a mid-range one, pretty good. I think what it is, because it's running that and it's running the stream and it's running this second monitor, I just think it's taking up too many resources. And what happens if it can't handle it, it freezes, doesn't it? And it's just a coincidence that it froze. So I've got this monitor, and unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to use it again. So, you know, I thought I was being clever seeing when I froze, and it was probably the monitor that was making it freeze. But there you go. Okay. Oh, Ben, I thought it was a guess the Ladyboy. Well, you can guess it, but it's if you know. No, it was guess the lady actually. No, it was the other way around. Right. Google user says they all look gorgeous. Yes, they do. They would all get it. Martin says, what would they get, Martin? What would they get? A beer? Okay. Yeah. Andrew's Reward says that was dead easy. But actually, I ran that competition about a year ago, so I don't know. Maybe you remember the right answer at the back of your head somewhere. I have got another one for the members stream. I'm going to end this in about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to take a 15-minute break, and then I'm going to come back with the members stream. I'll run it for about an hour tonight because I'm meeting, as I said, I'm meeting Bangkok Pat tomorrow. We're going off to do a video, and I'm looking forward to that actually. My only problem with Bangkok Pat is that we're doing 2 separate videos on the same subject, but we'll both be in each other's videos. But his videos are like documentaries. I'm just hoping mine will stand up against his, you know, because his will be, he'll tell you how many locks are in the door, you know, whereas I'm just like, you know, this is it, and you know, let's see, hopefully it'll stand up. Steve, not a chance anybody would remember. Yeah, I don't think so, would they? Not from a year ago. I mean, we've been doing them for a year. Joyous Roma says, you haven't frozen from my end. You must have come in late then, because I definitely did freeze. There's a hell of a delay between these 2 monitors. I think it's because I came out of this stream and came back in, because the monitor is actually still showing the Ladyboy competition. The right answer, but it is showing it. Toby Price says, Peter, have you ever been caught out? Caught out doing what, Toby? I'm an honest guy. I don't do anything. No, not what? Caught out. Be a bit more specific. Come back in with the same question, but caught out doing what? Stealing? Running off with ladyboys? I don't know. Right. Okay. Yeah, Bamboo says, Peter, be aware the fashion police have been very active lately. Yeah, that's funny, that, isn't it? It's always really funny. I mean, what Bamboo's talking about there, sometimes I'll put out a video and some guy will write a comment, and they're deadly serious, and they say, "Oh, I couldn't watch this video because the blue shirt you were wearing today, it was a bit too bright. Can you next time, can you dim it down and wear something?" And you're thinking, Jesus Christ, guy, just listen to the bloody story, you know. Uh, you can see I'm wearing black tonight, Bamboo, so I shouldn't have. The fashion police should be, you know, happy. Um, Yeah, I think I agree with that. Karen Fram from the jungle says no one gets caught out by ladyboys. It's an international turn. It's an intentional turning a blind eye. Yeah, you'll get a lot of guys who say, "Yeah, I accidentally went with a ladyboy," and you know, I don't believe it. I honestly don't believe it. When you do a ladyboy competition, even I get tripped up. You know, I make the competitions and I forget which one it was. You know, and I've said it lots of times. You know, you get guys go to patio, they get involved in that sort of thing, but they don't want to tell people. They're a little bit ashamed of it or shy or whatever. But they do it, you know, and it's just how it is. Um, Toby Price. Okay. Well, not really Toby, because I've never been with a lady boy. I'm not a lady boy. I've got nothing against them. I know people who go with them. I've been married for the last 30 years. I'm single now. If I wanted a relationship, I'd pick a girl. I'm just totally not into lady boys. So no is the answer. Um, right. David said, I nearly had a 8-sum in patio in November 2005, but a 9-sum sounds interested. Jesus, you've got some stamina. Paul Hoskins says, sometimes it's nice to have something warm. Oh, no, Paul. No, that's too much. Right, yours travels. There is no chance of being caught out, Toby. Never, buddy. Yeah, okay. Neil Driscoll. That shirt is black, Peter. It's hurting my eyes. Yeah, I had one guy actually complain about my hair about a year ago. He didn't like the way I'd put my hair across. You know when people are joking, because when they, you know, what happens when you get the fashion police and they start, you get some serious comments. I don't like your shirt, or I don't like the way, you know, one guy was complaining because I didn't put the microphone up through here. He said, "Oh, you're not very professional. I watch other people and you only see the mic. The cable goes inside. Your cable runs down the front." And you're like, so what, you know? But you know when people are joking, because they'll say something like, "Oh, I don't like your shirt," and then they'll put smiley faces, so you know they're joking. But it's the ones who don't put any smiley faces. Yeah, Naughty Boy says, yes, I was about to say your glasses reflection is putting me off. Just no, that is a genuine thing. Actually, it's been something that's got on my nerves for a long time. I told you I won't repeat the story, but I've tried to get anti-glare stuff here, glasses. They sell glasses everywhere, but they just don't understand anti-glare. Fat Tony, um, true. If you like a lady boy, you like it, fellas. I don't think, as long as nobody's hurting them. I mean, honestly, I'm not just saying this. I am not into them. I just don't find them attractive. I can see why guys do, because they do look like women, but it's the fact that I know they're lady boys. I wouldn't, you know, whether they've had the op or not. It's not for me personally. Damon, Peter, next time you get your hair cut, you should get the same style, and me and Franco will look tip top. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what, that girl? I said it today. You know, I think I've said to her lots of times, don't cut it too short. I've said it in Thai. I've used translate. I said, yeah, cut, but and I showed her my finger, and well, she's like a butcher, and I think deep down, I think what it is, she thinks the more she cuts off, the bigger tip she'll get. You know. Um, Jabir, Trevor from Buzz and Pat here has been having a few affairs with ladyboys in the past. It's always been very open and honest. But well, you know, I was just about to say that, Jabir. He doesn't hide it. He sort of says, "Well, yeah, it happened, and that's it." I don't know about a few. I remember there was one story he mentioned. Um, Right, Andrew says a famous snooker player who frequents patio loves the ladyboys. Okay, I don't know who that is. I told you, I met. Well, I didn't meet him, but I was in a small go-go bar just before Walking Street. I forget the name of that street there, and Steve Davis walked in with a little girl holding his snooker cue and a little bit of his entourage. And I was with a guy called another Simon, not the Simon I'm always talking about. And we were sat here on a little table. Steve Davis sat kind of down here. He must have been, I'd say, 6 feet away from me. And my friend says, "Oh, you know, typical Brit." You know, he turned around and says, "You're right, Steve. You're right." And Steve's like waved to us, and it's like, Jesus, you know. But yeah. I mean, it's surprising who you meet in Patia. Um, Yours travels. Use everything Patty's hairdresser. More stories than the Bible. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. I'll leave that up there. That's funny. Uh, yeah. Okay. I can't comment on that. Can you? There's another guy who reads out stories, and I'd love to be able to comment, but he's got a great imagination. He really has. I'm not going to say who he is, but I don't watch him, but somebody pointed him out and said, look, this guy's basically duplicated everything you do. And I went and had a quick peek, and I just thought, Christ, haven't you got any imagination? But, I don't own the internet. What can I do? Right. Karen Frang in the jungle. Does Jimmy White like ladyboys? David. Always try things at least once. You'll never. Well, yeah, okay. I do. That is good. Always try something once, but I draw the line at ladyboys. There's so many beautiful women in Thailand. Why do you want to try a ladyboy, unless you're into that sort of thing? Okay. Charming Frank says dirt cheap Pete. Okay. Neil Driscoll, got some people coming in late now, haven't heard from. Peter, I got new lenses in my eyes now, glasses free, but I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to do one better than that, Neil. I keep talking about it. I just haven't had the time. I want to get laser surgery done here. It's called LASIK, and apparently it's very good, and it's kind of like 50% of the price. It was Damien actually who told me when he had it done Damien had it done a few years ago in the UK, and I said to Damien, I said, what's it like when you get it done, And he said, it's like having HD installed into your eyes all of a sudden. I wear 3 sets of glasses. It's getting ridiculous now. I've got these for the 4 pairs. I wear 4 pairs. I wear these for the PC because it's a little bit set back, right? I've got these ugly things for reading, and I've got a blue pair that I watch for the TV because that's a long way off, and I've now got a 4th pair that I use on the motor scooter that's bifocal. So they're normal lenses here, and they're 3 here, so I can see normally here, and I look down and I can read the sat nav on my phone. So 4 pairs. So I've got to get that laser surgery done. D&E says many people have OCD. Yeah. 20 Rothmans. Has anyone else seen your PayPal account country is different from your payments profile country? Please use a different payment method when trying to join. I'm not sure what that's about. The Gormless twit. Why no go full boldy like me? Join the club. I don't know. I don't want to go bold. I mean, every video I see in Pattaya, half the YouTubers in Pattaya are bald, aren't they? I just don't. I don't know. I like having a bit of hair. It's white, and I'm receding now. Look, I need the glasses. I'm receding. I pulled it down a little bit there. But I'm white, but I've got hair. So I haven't got a lot. I want to keep it. I'm gonna, leave it until I'm really old, and then we'll see. Right. I think we're nearly there now, guys. Okay, I'll put that up there. I don't know. I can't verify that. I mean, if he has, he has, and if he hasn't, he hasn't. Paul Hoskins says Steve Davis, interesting. Yeah, he was good in his day, wasn't he? Michael DiCaprio. Hi, Peter. Wear contact lenses. Brilliant. Better than glasses, especially when it's raining. Well, I've answered that. I mean, I've just said I'm gonna get the LASIK done. I will get it done, and I'll do a whole video on it. Fat Tony says you should always put the pink before the brown. Oh, the old ones are always the best one, Tony. They're always the best. Naughty boy, they're usually heat to party with, but I always leave with a. Yeah, I just don't trust them. They've always got their hands in your pockets for other reasons. I wear contact most of the time, not having a laser in my eye. It's Steve, yeah. Terry Dale, was it? I was in Pattaya last October. Lady I was with had ladyboy friends, great fun playing pool. Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I mean, if you're with a girl, she takes you into a bar and there's a bunch of ladyboys who are her friends and all playing pool and drinking together, and you join into that group. Absolutely. That's brilliant. It's a good atmosphere. But when it gets to the point where you get paired off with one ladyboy and she's like got the tuk-tuk outside and she's pulling you by the arm, no. It's time to say goodnight for me anyway. Neil. Hi, Peter. Some people's eyes cannot be lasered. New lenses can be the only way. Not sure about your problem with the eyes. I also had hair transplant as well. I don't think I'd have a hair transplant, but I can only find out. I can go along. There's one at Asok, apparently a good one. I'll go and talk to them because sometimes if you're over a certain age, they can't do laser treatment on you. You have to have the what's it? Not an inspection. Yeah, they have to look at your eyes and your age and everything. Jungle George again, totally got that wrong. Remind me to extra tip the bartender to make sure I don't make a mistake. Haha, yeah, absolutely. Damon, Peter, had my eyes lasered, was the best thing I'd done, but was scary as you can smell the retina burning, but definitely worth it. Yeah, my daughters, when I said to them I'm going to have laser treatment, they said, no, no. They don't know nothing about Thailand. They said, no, don't have it done, Dad. You'll be blind. They don't know what they're doing out there. Typical young English girls, right? They don't know what they're doing out there. They've got visions of them like having a welding kit, and they stick the old glasses on. It's like, they got the welding and they're burning my eyelashes off. They don't understand. It's just funny to hear it. Tony Price says, when I turned 48, I had to get glasses before the eyes were fine. Yeah, it's old age. It's old age. Right. We'll make this the last one. 383. Was an amazing day today here in Bangkok. Okay. And let's finish off with Carl Kelly there. Make sure to have a Valium before the LASIK. Okay. I suppose that's like Damon says, the smell. I suppose the smell's quite scary. Okay, guys, look, I'm going to have to end it there. It's over an hour and a half now. I've enjoyed it tonight, actually. It's been good fun. I'm going to be back in 15 minutes for the members stream, members only. So if you're not a member, go and join. You've got time. It's cheap, actually. I don't know how many people I get in on the member stream because it doesn't tell me. But what's the time now? Here in Thailand, it's 10:30 in the evening. I'm going to grab a beer. I'm going to set up the member stream and I'll be back in 15 minutes. But for everybody who's been in tonight, thanks for listening to me waffle on. Thanks to all the guys who did the super chats. And Damien and Franco, peace. I'll catch you next time round. Okay? Good night, guys.